Welcome aboard Frank's Magic Bus. Now, without further ado, Frank Welch.
We're going to have a little Rolling Stones party here because we're going to talk to the publisher of this very cool, big 2012 ebook only. It's an ebook, The Rolling Stones Views from the Inside, Views from the Outside. Publisher is Matthius Wurfl. So let's talk about the book with Matthias. What kind of archives did you guys source for this ebook as far as any old newspaper archives or history archives?
Yeah, we have really good connection via our sister company, the interview people, who is doing syndication services. That means we receive from the big national daily newspapers from London, UK, on a daily basis, international relevant interviews, features, and images, and we resell that on kind of their behalf into more than 70 countries worldwide. So we had very good connections already to the publishing houses, and when we came up with the idea of monetizing archive content, and that then we said we were focusing on the Rolling Stones, they said, okay, you can come over, and then it was like a week later or 2 weeks later we sat in the archive, or better, let's put it that way, the library of the Daily Mail in London. They do not only have in their archive their own articles, but also from other sources, and we had to really take a look at those old unfolded paper cuts from the 60s, 70s, and then when we liked the interview or the article, the feature, we went to the copy machine, copied it, flew home with like 300, 400, 500 pages, and we scanned them here, sent them to Canada for transcription, and it came back, and then we decided what to put into our ebook. So yeah, it was quite an effort.
So you physically went to where the London Daily Mail newspaper archives were, their morgue is what we used to call them, and you actually physically got the old paper articles and photographs and took them to Germany, then scanned them. That's a lot of work involved.
Yeah, it is, and you get really black hands because of that ink. You cannot imagine how. No, really, that's no kidding. We had black fingers from the ink, even if those paper cuts have been there for the last 40 to 50 years. But it's like treasure hunting, you know? You unfold articles, you don't know what's coming up. Is it like the 30th time when the press is asking how long are the Stones gonna last, or is it really, really a rare interview with the mother of Mick Jagger? So it's kind of fun.
Tell us about maybe the biggest surprise you got when going through all these archives of the Daily Mail and other things, these old newspaper articles. What would you say would be the biggest surprise that you found that is in the ebook?
The biggest surprise, after all, is how much press coverage those guys had. That's incredible, and especially for a U.S. audience, it's incredible, this ebook, because 99% has not been available for a U.S. audience. You know, even if you buy this ebook in London or in Europe, you probably have not seen most of the articles, but the U.S. people had no chance. And in terms of the biggest surprise, yeah, I think it's those two interviews with Mick Jagger's mother, who are within the book in part 1 in the first 25 chapters. That's most interesting. What's also very interesting is how the view of the press changes over all those years, because at first they've been the bad boys, and yeah, in the end he became announced Sir by the Queen. So you can really watch this process. It's interesting.
Now, growing up on the Beatles and the Rolling Stones here in the USA, we got the look from this side of the Atlantic with them being on the Ed Sullivan Show and various TV shows and that. Now, you being from Europe, what did you find would be the difference, or did you find any difference in the early press between the Beatles and the Rolling Stones? Were the Beatles the good boys there? I'm talking about before they hit the USA, 63 or so, and the Stones were the bad boys?
We did not investigate on the Beatles. Maybe this is going to be another project. And also the press did not, we focused on these articles, and also if there was an article about the Rolling Stones or one of the band members, they did not really compare them to the Beatles.
But the press that they got, that you saw, the reviews of the early years before they hit the USA, the Rolling Stones, were they considered in England kind of a rough, hoods or hoodlums or whatever?
Yeah, definitely. You will see... You can read an article in there where the courts who did not really like the people who just went to their concerts, you know, that was really, I don't want to say disgusting for some of the people back there, but they really had to make their way to fight